think is absolutely critical is keeping the engineering talent that we have here in Southeast Michigan. We've got incredible engineers. A lot of people in Washington, and I deal with this on a regular basis, folks in Washington have this view of Michigan as kind of being a factory and smokestack state, and we do have those and we're very proud of them, but we're a lot more than that too. We're also a high-tech state. We have more engineers in Southeast Michigan than any other region of the country. It's an incredible competitive advantage that we have. We just got to make sure they're all working, moving forward. The Technology Act will do that. We also need to work in the renewable area, solar technology. We're one of the leading areas in solar. The governor and Lieutenant Governor Cherry have been very involved in solar. We had a bill in Congress last week that will authorize and fund demonstration projects for solar. I had 2 amendments put in there. One, that as they're making those grants, it should go to those states that have the highest unemployment, should be a criteria used. And, that's a good thing, yes. And the second, another criteria was that if you're going to be investing in R&D in solar, it's got to be companies that manufacture in the United States. We happen to be very big manufacturers of solar technology, as the Lieutenant Governor knows, so it'll be very helpful to us in bringing those dollars. So those are the kind of efforts we're involved in. We've got to be doing that constantly. We're not over yet. We've got a long ways to go, but we've got to be bringing in those resources and bringing in not just resources, but also in a smart fashion that we're transforming our economy into the high-tech economy and alternative energy that we can be a leader in.
You know what's happening with the Employee Free Choice Act?
The Employee Free Choice Act is it's really in the Senate, as Bill Black knows very well, and keeping close tabs of it. The Senate is where it should be moving first, and right now it's not doing anything, given the fact that its healthcare is pretty much dominating everything over in the Senate, as it has in the House too. It's been dominating that as well. So that is where most of everything is, with the exception, as the other committee we mentioned, some of the financial stuff, but that's moving in the House. So stay tuned, I guess, is my answer to your question on that. Yes?
Who are the folks who comprise the 4% not covered by the health reform bill?
I don't know if you can say any particular demographic, as it'll be people who you do not have to get insurance. There's a mandate to have insurance from individuals. There's a mandate for companies, and if companies choose not to do it, let me back off. If you're a small company with 500,000 or less in payroll, there's no penalty. There's a mandate, but there's no penalty to do it. And in fact, there's significant incentives. You can get tax credits in order to offer insurance for your employees. Over and above that, there is a penalty, a fee that is paid if you do not offer, which then goes into the fund. Same thing for individuals. Individuals are required to have health care insurance, and you go into the exchange, as I mentioned, you'll buy it in the exchange, but then there are subsidies to make sure it's affordable, because it's not just that you have to buy insurance, it has to be affordable for people, and so that there are then subsidies depending on your income. The lower your income, the more subsidies you get so that it's affordable for folks. If you choose not to, then there will be a penalty if you don't do it. So people who choose not to take insurance will be paying the penalty. Not everybody will do it, but it is the idea of having, the reason you have the mandate is that in order for the insurance to work and to deal with things like a no pre-existing condition, you've got to make sure everybody is in the insurance or it doesn't work. Everybody has to pay into insurance pool. People who are healthy also have to do it. It can't be just sick people. It has to be healthy people that pay in. And particularly when you deal with no pre-existing conditions, you've got to make sure everybody's paying into the pool and carrying their weight. You can't just wait till you get sick and then go to the insurance company and say, now I want insurance now that I've been diagnosed. So it's about paying it, but in an affordable way, which is what the plan asks. But people may still opt out. And so those are projections based on the Congressional Budget Office as to whether or not that's what happens. That's their projections that they're making.
All right, we're going to take 2 more questions.
Why don't you say that? Say who they are then, so I don't get in trouble.
Why don't we take this young woman right down here in front? Yeah.
On C-SPAN, they were talking about the third payer system for the health care bill.
About, I'm sorry, the third
payer system. Now we have 2 payers, they want to add a third payer system. Right now we have the government half of what we pay then you have government, and then local tax.
But how it's funded, the question is how it's funded, the payer? The system, you're still going to have private insurance. Private insurance will still be a part of it. You may have the public option that's part of it. People will pay for their insurance based on their income. You'll pay, and then there is a subsidy, as I mentioned, to make sure that it's affordable depending on your income. It expands Medicaid. So the people who are on Medicaid now will continue to receive it, plus it expands it to folks who don't have children, and also expands the eligibility, so it's covered. So that system will still be in place. So it's really kind of a hybrid of all of these different payment systems that you'll have in it. It's not a single payer plan like that some folks have talked about, where you just have Medicare, which is a single payer plan. This is going to be different in the fact that it has an exchange and still has a very active component for private insurance.
So we don't have to pay out of our pockets?
You will depend if you're not Medicaid, or if you're not a patient or a Medicaid recipient. If you're in the exchange, people will still have to pay money out of their pocket, but it'll be income based as to what kind of subsidies you get. So the lower your income, the more subsidies you get. Higher income, the less subsidies. Those details are on my website. So please, if you haven't gone to our website now, go to our website. We have it. We actually have a spreadsheet on that too, don't we? That breaks all that down. And my very capable staff is always willing to answer those questions too, exactly how it would work in your case.
All right, one more question.
And I'll be around later too. Is it Deb?
I was wondering, you heard that President Obama came and spoke to the Democrats. So can you give us a little smidge of what he said to you guys?
Well, the unfortunate part is I was not in that meeting, so I can't give you that smidge. The president did come on Saturday, but I wasn't able to make it to the caucus, so I'm not sure.
Well, you snubbed him twice, Gary.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah. I've seen him on other occasions, but I did take his call, and then I did not go to that meeting. So I apologize. I don't have any inside gossip. But again, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your support.